Okay. Good morning, everyone, and thanks very much for coming. Before we get going, I'd just like to acknowledge the traditional owners and their custodianship of the land that we meet on today. And on behalf of the Sustainable Minerals Institute, I'd like to pay our respects to their ancestors and their descendants who continue cultural and spiritual connections to country, and we recognize their valuable contributions to Australia and to global society. And the first thing I'd like to say, I guess, is thank you very much for coming, either in person or online. I can see that participants are filing in. We've had a good number of people sign up to attend online, as well as nice to see that you never know right now whether people are going to show up live or not. So yeah, that's great. So the aim of today's session is really just to provide an introduction to some, not all, of the projects being carried out under the banner of the Complex Ore Bodies program. And I think just about everybody in the audience is involved in it in some way or another. And I guess the other thing to say before we get going is, because I think what we said to most of you is that because this is a multidisciplinary audience, we've really asked presenters to focus on the importance and potential impact of their projects rather than the sort of hardcore specialist detail. So really that's the focus today. I think we've been through enough hybrid presentations to know that, or hybrid events like this, to know that carries its own challenges. So one thing I'll ask is that if you're in the room, we have 2 microphones now instead of 1, which is hopefully good. And but we'll have questions. We'll try to have questions at the end of every talk if there's enough time. And if you're in the room and want to ask a question, please wait till there's a microphone, because if you don't have a microphone, the people online, all 439 of them right now, won't be able to hear you, and whoever is chairing the session will have to repeat your question. So that's a really important thing. If you're online, the best way to ask a question or make a comment is via the Q&A button, because this is a webinar. You'll see there's a Q&A button, and we've got a separate computer set up that will be monitoring the questions, and we'll make sure that that your questions get answered. We've got a pretty full slate of presentations today, but before we get going, I've asked Neville Plint, the SMI director, to make an introduction. And most of you would know that Neville led the consultative process that led to the SMI's portfolio of cross-cutting programs. So it's really fitting that he open up today's session. So I'll pass over to Neville.
All right, and I have to admit, my success rate with these hybrid seminars hasn't been fantastic, so I'll do my best not to mess it up, Rick. So, morning everybody, and thank you very, very much for joining us today. It's an incredible day when you think back to where we were 4 years ago. And having come in as the new Institute Director, I did what all good Institute Directors do. I got out and went and chatted to everybody. And the more I chatted across the university, the more I realized the incredible wealth of talent and the depth of that talent within multiple disciplines. And the thought was, well, so what are we going to do with all this talent? As a university, our purpose is to develop game-changing people, to develop the leaders of the future. So what could we do as an institute to contribute to that purpose? And it's really fairly straightforward. Our approach is to do research on global challenges. And the only way we can really tackle these global challenges is by bringing multiple different views together to address those challenges. And that essentially was the genesis of the strategic programs that we put together. And we identified 5 programs that we wanted to go after, and put together quite a bold application into the university for support. And it was actually Robin Evans led the writing of that application, and it was fantastic. Peter Hoy said, yes, we'd absolutely like to support you. We believe multidisciplinary research is the way to go. and we believe that the program that you had would be useful. And given the capacity and where we were, we chose to lead with one program, and that program was complex ore bodies. And I've just been fantastic having Rick pick up that complex ore bodies program. And I would like to personally thank Rick for the contribution in bringing together talent from across the university and guiding the thinking about how we approach the question of where are we going to get future metal supply from to be able to deliver on a low carbon future that we all know is necessary for humanity to survive on this planet. So Rick, thank you for that. And thank you to everybody that's contributed and has been part of this journey. When you look at the deliverables that have been put together in 4 years, you look at the publications, you look at the energy and the excitement, it's just fantastic. It's beyond my wildest dreams of what I thought was possible. And it just gives me such hope for what we can do going forward as we tackle those other big global challenges that we've got in our strategic plan. So everybody, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to the day, and I'm really looking forward to the presentations. It's definitely a highlight of the year, so thank you.